Welcome back. This is Staring from Mysterian Gaming. Today we're running the Ruins of Ahn'Qiraj. I'm pretty sure I butchered that, but it's basically one of the two raids in Sylvis. And we're gonna get started.
I need to get closer. It's too far away. I don't have a target.
Pretty much, we're just gonna do what we can to skip what we have to skip. Now you see there's a chest there. In order to get the key for it, it comes off every boss. And the first boss is right there. And he also can be tamed by a Beast Mastery Hunter too, if you ever want to get this as a pet.
I'm out of range.
The walls have been breached.
Ah, there's my stalker. And as you see, there's some NPCs running this way. You need them in order to activate the next one, which was technically considered a gauntlet, but nowadays you more or less can just run in there and destroy everything. Let's get the UI back on temporarily. Now they would fight with you, but you would also have to keep them healed back in the days. Because if this lieutenant survived, you could buy stuff off him, which I'll show you.
I need a target.
Do not hesitate! Destroy them!
I need to get closer. Out of
The time of our retribution is at hand. Let darkness reign in the hearts of our enemies. Behind barred doors and walls of stone. No longer will our vengeance be denied. The dragons themselves will tremble before the enemy. Fear and death.
Excuse me.
It's too far away.
Staghelm will whimper and beg for his life, just as his whelp of a son did. 1,000 years of injustice will end this day. Andra, your time has come. Go and hide in the Emerald Dream and pray we never find you. I will kill you myself.
Now you gotta let him do let him get in here and hit some damage in, because sometimes it can bug out and you won't be able to see what the guy sells for you.
Breathe your last! Warriors! Captains! Continue the fight!
As you can see, like I said, the keys drop off. Now these are rep requirements, but and for now, I'm going to actually show you what's in the chest. But these are, he has patterns, but it requires rep levels. Here's one of the chests, or coffer, that's what it's called. Now you see idols come inside them, but you also scare it. Now unfortunately, Death Knights and Demon Hunters it's useless for them, more or less. But for all other classes, you can get armor that is exclusive to this raid. So there's vendors outside that if you hand in certain amounts to them, what they need, they'll give you a weapon, some armor. In the other raid in this area, there's even more stuff you can grab with these items here. But you'll need additional items that come off bosses, which have a certain chance of dropping, not guaranteed. Also to mention, these keys only last about 17-18 hours. So there's usually one chest in a big area like this. There's always going to be a chest within a boss's area. So I also forgot to mention, he stays there for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then he bails on you. So let's continue. Now, you have two pathways you can take. We're going to take the left one here. And as I said, see, there's another chest. Now, pretty much, in my realm, they're useless on selling them.
I need the target.
You only would collect them in my realm if you wanted to get the transmogs for them. Other than that, they're just pretty much trash items to make some money off of. Better to sell it to a vendor than try to AH it. Unless you can find someone who desperately needs it and wants to buy it. Now, like I said, the first boss was tameable by Beastmaster Hunters. There's actually a bunch of bosses here that you can tame. The one down here, you can tame him too. But also, when I tamed him, I slowly depleted his HP, so he would go into another phase where his shell would break. Then I tamed him to get that look. Now there's one, I think, in Thousand Needles that you can get the same look, but I went this way instead of having to go get that one.
I'm out of range.
No, I killed him too fast, but we just gotta work our way up here. Also, if you're a miner, there's very few in here, but there are obsidian shards. Nolds, but they were used to craft stuff with blacksmith. Surprisingly, if you do sell them on an auction house, they do go decently for a price, at least in my realm. So I AH them whenever I get them, because I actually get more than just selling them off to a vendor. Now pretty much there's a lot of stuff in here for 100 to tame, which if you're into the bugs, this is your best place to come and tame. Unfortunately, bringing up the map restales my UI, so. But as you saw, if you saw a quick map, we're actually heading to this boss right here. This boss used to be a nightmare. The altar that bug's on, it would take a random person and eject them.
I need to get closer. It's too far away. I don't have a target.
Basically, if you didn't kill whatever was coming to get that person on the altar, they were dead. If I remember right, it also summoned up an ad that would end up having to fight too. It was bad now. The final boss technically is up those stairs. So we're gonna just ride through that area. And then we'll do him last. Now, technically, if I remember right, if you pulled this last boss without clearing these guys, they all come rushing after you. And as you see there, right here, that was actually part of the boss fight. You would need to kite him around. Seems I aggro one of the big boys here. And they like to drop meteors too, if I forgot to mention. And as you see, you kill him, and this little node you can mine comes up. This is where the obsidian shards come from. This is why I love AoEs. The old raids, best way to clear everything. Now these guys, luckily, are all contained in one area, but it's a small prelude to what you'll be facing in the 40-man raid. But as you can see, they also drop these little gnolls to mine. And the boss of this area in here is right there. If I remember him correctly, he was a mana drainer. So, anyone that had mana basically needed to stay back. Unfortunately, I don't know how that worked for Alliance, because back then only Alliance has paladins, and we had shamans. So, unfortunately, enhancement shamans had fun trying to keep their mana up. Well, I'm pretty sure the Alliance and their paladins were trying to do that. Now we're gonna head off to the final boss here. Just like in Nixie and the Farian, this guy also drops his head for a quest hand-in. If you actually want to explore this area without actually having to go into the raid, you can actually fly over the raid portal and actually check the whole area out. There won't be any mobs in there. Unfortunately, you can't go inside the temple part because it's sealed off. You actually would have to go in the raid to access that. And it's a bit of a maze down there. But we'll show you that in another video later on. Now, normally you would have to hunt each one of these guys down, because they actually have a big old aggro radius back then. See, even with my high level, they still had a big radius for aggro. So just imagine that if you were back then in the classic max level and that thing would still come at you like a freaking semi. As you can see, he's different.
Sands of the desert, rise and block out the sun!
And as you see, you got up close enough to him. The moment you got up, and you see at that crystal road, you have to keep kiting him toward this path in order to keep him pretty much in check. That's pretty much the ruins part of this raid. This has been Asterion from Asterion Gaming, asking you to please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.